Good talk. Nothing bad.
Okay, better. I got you.
Can't hear. Zakir Rashid is my name. And I'm just curious about the issues regarding the telecommunications that you discussed this evening. I actually wrote the first cable television franchise that was enacted here in the city of East Cleveland. I would volunteer my services to put together a cable television advisory committee and steer however you would like this to manifest itself to get on the air as soon as you can. There's several different ways to do it. One of the things that was in the old contract, and I don't know what changed, I have to take a look at the contract to see, but one of the things that was required by
Make him put in the speaker. It's too low. Nobody can hear it.
and local access to it. And then so you have to consider how you want to. I look at the contract, but I wanted to volunteer my services.
Please contact the council.
Okay.
Can you turn up the speaker? We can't hear him in the back.
Don't have one.
No hair.
Terry Jeffrey, 145 Avenue, Terrace Road, East Cleveland, Ohio. When you talk about services, my family moved into East Cleveland in 1969 to 2015, 1969. It's 46 years. And the services have not gone up. They've gone down. I think the early 1970s, for people paying on their houses and stuff, it was at 30% then. That was probably the early 1970s. And when you talk about, when you talk about the dump, I didn't know anything about the dump on Noble Road until the .com called some media, and I saw it on TV5. About 2 weeks ago, we were coming from downtown at a political meeting at Tri-C, I think it was, and we went past that dump in the dark. And the dump, it looked like a mountain,
Yes.
with little snow on top of it. It was supposed to be recycling. It's not supposed to be dumps. And when you have no rational person wants something like that in back of their houses, that's a residential area. That piece of crap should not be there. It's a crime.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right. Yes.
Avenue.
How they gonna clean it up?
Started off, where's the joke at it? Why? Your vice president, you're twirling the gavel. It's not a joke. This is people's lives you're playing with.
Yes.
Number two, council president, you sat there and did nothing to stop the joke. This is a travesty. Number three, none of y'all did your homework about EPA. You did what you wanted to do about the Hudson District region. You didn't call EPA and say, hey, let's pay our fine, our $200. Let's pay that. Get the 46 that we need because it's granted to us to buy an engineer to move forward. You get $100,000 to move forward, to buy equipment, tools, pipe, and plumbing. You didn't do none of your homework. We did your homework. We told you back and forth. Call EPA. We begged you to do that. You didn't do it. You got a law director that's not telling you the truth.
She's not.
She's not giving you true information. Hold her accountable for it. That's what you do in a courtroom. Because if she tells you a lie in court, everything that she said comes back to the city. Now, she claims she's here helping the city. Show it.
They ain't doing their homework.
RTA contracts. If y'all look at your contracts, talk to your law director. You got 100 feet from concrete slab. Repairs by RTA. Enforce it. You want to cry about it? Enforce it. Money seizures by the police department. I'm going to go way back there. Since your law director ain't telling y'all the truth about it, don't mess with it yet. Because you ain't going to know which way it's coming from because she says she contracted. So since she's contracted, she cannot do anything to it.
She's not the launderess. Right, she ain't the launderess.
We want to talk about money fees and how come we don't have money? You have a man sitting on the road with 3 different positions, possible 4. Eliminate one and give him one job, that's the minimum. Understand what his job is. If you can't understand it, ask him. You want to alleviate some money? Give it up. You want to stop the city from being in the hole?
Give it up. You want to talk about your ambassador program?
No way.
Give it up.
Time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's right. That's right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Honorable Bear Resort President Wheeler and council members. I just have a few things I want to mention. The first thing, 1722 Taylor Road, Mary Rice. 4 things I wanted to mention. First thing, you had mentioned about whose information is it. There's a great book out by Michael W. Apple. I advise you take a look at it and see whose information it is. Second, there are 2 separate things with the sewer department. What the board said yesterday is what you were discussing today was fine with us. We have some issues, but it's not with what you discussed today. 3, last month, we kind of left out kind of early. There was a couple things I wanted to share. Major thing that I wanted to share was the accomplishments of the East Cleveland school students. They did with the value-added classification for the Ohio Department of Education. Our students beat at least 6 other school districts in the area. And the teachers and the staff need to be commended. When you see the educators, please, well done. The more encouragement we get, the better it is for our school system as well as our students. So thank you so much for the applause, and thank you, council, for joining in with that. Lastly, I'd like to say is 2 different things came before council that involved the school district. I would really like if we could find a way, whether it's a liaison for you guys coming to our committee meetings, or whether you want us to come to one of your committee meetings, and whatever it is, I would love, or we would love, as a board to work with you. Okay? Thank you very much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Robinson, 15600 Terrace Road. To the citizens of East Cleveland that heard all this information tonight, I want you to take in consideration what was said. I personally want to thank Councilwoman Barbara Thomas for doing her research. I think she was well activated. Now, since I won't, here's the disruptive conduct code procedure I want to talk about before I say what I say the wrong way and I wind up going to jail or acquire a misdemeanor for City Council as a governing body, and I think I'm covering everyone. I'm not singling anyone out as I was fined before. Mr. Martin, stand up please, sir. 1 second, just 1 second. I want to reiterate something. I want to deliver something that you always say in City Council. That's all I want to say.
Okay, go ahead.
And we say this all the time. You said, in order for change to come about, Councilman, let me clearly, so the citizens of East Cleveland hear this too. Martin always says in every meeting, if you want change, these are the things you have to do. You have to come to City Council meetings, you have to vote, and you have to do your research. And City Council, I'm sorry, if I get fined for this or locked up in jail, let me tell you something. All of you have not done your research. That's true.
Oh, for the truth?
I don't think so.
Hello, everyone, Mayor, Council. My name is Tiffany Fisher. Excuse me. My name is Tiffany Fisher, 1307 East 143rd Street. First of all, my colleague, Dr. Rice, mentioned to everyone about the ODE report card. We are very proud of that. We've kept you updated. I've seen pretty much everyone at the school board meeting, so I'm sure you know what's going on. I just got back from Columbus, and it was a legislative conference. And one of the issues that's a concern for school districts is House Bill 70. That is where they took away the privileges of the school board in Youngstown. They're on the borderline of taking the privileges away from Lorraine. And what it is, the reason I'm bringing it up while I talk about the report card is because even though we went from an F in value added to an A, which is how much your child learns within one school year, from what I'm understanding, that grade will not actually count because of park testing in other districts that opted out, it brings a concern for the state. So it won't count. And that's a bad thing, because what happens when things happen to Youngstown, or what's going to possibly happen to Lorraine, is they combine 3 years of averages from that state report card. And when they say they might be leaving this year's out when we did very well, that is a concern, because then what would happen would be the state would enforce a commission to the school district. Just do your homework, because I only have 3 minutes on that. I was there in Columbus today fighting for our school district as well as others. Number 2, first I called my councilman at large, Councilman Martin. I didn't speak with him at the time that I called. It was kind of late when we exited out of our school board meeting this past Monday. So the following morning, I talked with my council person, Ms. Graham. I informed her that there's concerns. If you can give me 1 extra minute, I apologize. It'll be quicker. I informed to her that there were concerns from residents that came to our school board meeting. There were concerns from myself. As chair of Building Grounds, I never had got an invite to any of those meetings, and I'm a resident. But that's understandable. I did move, so I probably didn't get the information. So Ms. Graham, what my council person did was contact Councilman Brandon King and Council President Thomas Willer. And immediately I received a phone call from each of them back to back. And they said, well, you guys are having an emergency meeting. We can possibly get the sewer reps to come in and explain to you, since that is an importance to the school board. And that is what happened. It happened, I don't know how those 2 reps arrived at our meeting in less than an hour's notice. But they did.
It's a doggone shame.
They really did. And the concerns I had was the location. There are other concerns that I had, because I'm not going to speak on other board members from the school board like they spoke on me today. Those concerns I did share with everyone except for Barbara Thomas, Councilwoman Thomas, only because I couldn't get contact. I don't have your number. I apologize. Those concerns I did share with the other members, and we came up with a conversation that said we need to work together, school board, city council. And also, I'm sorry, real quick, I thought today this would be a vote on a total project. So my concern as a school board position, I don't know anything about a chair and building grounds. So what I had requested from my other school board members on that Monday night was a possible resolution to stop anything like that from coming within so many feet of the schools, period.
That's right.
When I talked with the council people, majority of them, they said we can sit down and talk about this. But Wednesday, today, I'm sorry, what's that? Wednesday, I'm behind because of voting. But Wednesday, today, the council is just going to pass the service agreement, which needs to be done, because there are other options. I did question the reps that came, but they are very expensive to my understanding. They brought in documentation, they brought in diagrams, they also promised, and I did request to have it in writing, they promised to sit down with the school board and discuss the options for the plan. And that satisfies me at this time. I do plan to work with you guys, and I do really appreciate your immediate attention to this matter. Thank you. You're welcome.
Dr. Patricia Kueh, 1894, Barrington. A bunch of things. One is that the April school board meeting will be held on the 3rd Monday at 7 p.m. at Shaw, unlike the usual because of some conflicts that some of the board members have. 2, the violin classes continue at Candlewood from 3:30 to 5 every Thursday. I'm also teaching in Slavic Village from 3 to 5 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. It happens to be easier to arrange a place there than it does in my home location. Regarding the patch, I'm wondering about how much weight it would take to fix the craters in the block of terrace in front of where the hospital used to be. I would love to have an idea of that, and I could really love to avoid the plague that's been promised to good neighbor ambassadors. Plague doesn't seem like a nice thing to offer to somebody. Regarding the retention basin, I've been involved with discussions on that for some time because I'm moving the site of my former garden to another location, and so I've been in discussion with them. The general concept of taking care of rainwater and stormwater so that we don't have more pollution to our lake, which is the source of our drinking water, not to mention recreation, is a good concept. The concerns that I've had, one was that they had originally planned to have their staging area where their trucks went in and out on Mayfair Road in front of the school. And I have complained about that numerous times, and I just got confirmation yesterday, that they have changed that to Scioto, because if they had their staging area and their trucks going in and out with our school buses, our parents doing drop-off and pick-up, our teachers driving in and out, plus the residents, they would have been a mess. But that one they fixed. Yes, I'm very pleased with that one. I remain concerned about the discussion of problems with other sites, and I specifically asked them to do a survey in those neighborhoods so that they could get a better, more scientific evaluation of what the problems are in the other sites. Because at this point in time, what we have is one person saying one thing and one person saying another thing, and I really want more details. But anyway, that's the significant factor in my mind, and I would really love to see that addressed, and I have said that to the people from the sewer district a number of times. I certainly agree with what Ms. Fisher said about the takeover of the Youngstown School District. I presented a resolution that was written up by the Ohio School Board Association that our school board passed in opposition to what they've been doing. And I hope that the city council would also consider passing the comparable legislation. I did send you a copy some time ago. Ms. Graham, I don't think I have an email address for you yet, but I hope that you will also come out in opposition to that. It certainly has not been satisfactory to the people in Youngstown, and the people in other situations, such as Lorraine, are worried about it. We're not involved in that at this point in time, and they said that they won't name anybody else to that group. I believe it's 2 years, but a short period of time. Anyway, so I will send that to you again if you would like, and I hope that you will support the schools that way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kay Addison, 1862 Farmington. It's been a while since I've attended a council meeting, so thanks everybody. I had a few quick comments. First, regarding Councilman King's food pantry. I don't know if you're aware that Panera Bread donates like unsold baked goods every night. They give those away for donations, so I don't know if that would be something that you would be interested in. Also, the proposal for the videographer, if there is like any type of documentation that shows like what this person would need in terms of video equipment, things like that, if you can make that available, I would like to get a copy of that because I have a few people in mind. So I just want to make sure that they have, all the equipment before, I have them submit their stuff to you. Let's see. As far as water retention, I know this is completely off the mark as far as the basins are concerned, but I do know that the federal government does offer grants for those, municipalities that want to incorporate rain barrels, sustainable living and everything. I would be more than willing to
sign up for rain barrels, as I'm sure, you know, many other residents would. I think that that would help to alleviate, you know, until we can figure out what we're going to do with the basins, that would alleviate like water running down people's, you know, basements maybe being not as flooded, but, you know, that would be a thought as well. The main reason why I wanted to come up here is because I was listening to what Councilwoman Graham was saying about priority with the resources. Prioritizing the monies within the city, appropriating the monies, you know, that'll have the highest return on investment. I kept hearing, you know, the recall thing being tossed around. My first question is, how many recalls were attempted last year in 2015? 3, okay. 4, 5, it was 5. Okay, you said that right now we have 1 underway. Okay, now what is the average cost of each recall? $15,000. So 15,000 times 5 would be what? Because I don't have a calculator. $75,000. Okay. So the $75,000 that now the city has to kind of scrape together to find. Is that what I'm understanding? Because we don't have a fund that we can pull this money out of.
Only one was voted on.
Only one was voted. Okay, but I'm saying, but even if the recalls don't pass, this is still money that the city has to pay?
No.
If it's a special election.
If there's an election, we pay. It was only one.
Okay, so that was $15,000 that we needed to pay. Okay, so with that $15,000, how many streets could have been paid with that money? With those, how many potholes could have been filled?
With the hospital money?
With the money, the recall money, the money that is spent to recall somebody.
With the hospital money?
Okay, so about ballpark.
That ain't nothing compared to the hospital money.
How many streets could have been paid with that $15,000? I know at least one. I know probably the street, you know, Terrace right across the street from Huron Hospital. That $15,000 could have, I don't know, allow me 2 minutes because I haven't been here, 2 extra minutes, please, because I haven't been here for a minute. So the reason why I'm saying that is I had to get a new car because the potholes were so bad that I drove over a pothole and the frame of my car broke. Okay, so I had to get a brand new car behind these potholes. So me as the resident, it makes me very upset that we have so many other problems within the city, but then our biggest concern is who we're going to get kicked off of council. To me, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. I heard a term, what is it, dereliction of duty? Okay, to me that's a dereliction of duty because now you're throwing away good money that the city needs that could help all of us because you have personal differences with this one or you have personal differences with that one. That is the reason, one of the biggest reasons why the city is in the shape that it's in right now is all this infighting. I am a big believer in you don't argue in front of company. You don't argue in front of outsiders. 2 more minutes. You don't. Okay. All right. But I do thank you for my time. All right, 2 years.
Okay. My name is Jon Powell. I live at 1257 East 135th Street. I've been a resident of this community since 1972. And when I moved into the community, I was a young man. I had so much pleasure in living here. One thing I noticed then and what I notice now is when I drove into the community, I drove into light. I used to call this community Little Las Vegas. But now, when I drive in this community, I drive into darkness. And I said, what's going on here? And I really think it's because we have become so complacent here, we have become Neanderthals. So I'm not just blaming you all as a couple, because I've seen this all these 44 years. You know, and I see all these young faces here, and I'm hoping that you can really hear what I'm saying, because this is not just you, it's the citizens of the community too. We're going to have to come together and bring light to this city, because this city right now is living in darkness. And we have to, as you stated, I see all these things on this agenda and whatever, but there are other issues too. You can have all these things here. Why do I have to live in my community? There's 60 abandoned homes right there within my community, right in the area that I live. But I do my best because I can maintain my pride there. I do my best to keep mine up, and the neighbors know me, everybody knows me, because I try to do my best. And that's all I ask everybody else around here to do. Neighbors and everything, do your best in your community. Bring the community back to light and we'll be okay.
Thank you. I'm going to get everything. I'm going to tell you, I know you ain't having a second. But anyway, I know he had to go. Because he's the first one on my list.
Yeah, he's good for that.
When he was running for mayor the first time, I took him around and showed him these houses. See, they wasn't confined with the ordinance of the city. He promised he was going to do it, get pre-sale inspection. See, y'all talking about tearing all these houses down. The houses had to get that way because the people that forced these people to fix them. See, so one thing, I heard the young lady say that the recall, you can fill potholes. But sometimes you can keep people up here that will cost you more than you would when you recall.
Yeah.
You understand that?
That's true.
So
Yeah.
my thinking is, if you got a problem, try to alleviate the problem as quick as you can. One thing I want to know for council as a group, my friend, Mr. O'May, everybody's my friend, I don't like to get like nobody. I want to know why that he didn't allow him to stay in the meeting. I hope somebody would explain that. That's one, that's first thing. Number two, my other favorite council, that she know why we fell out about some time ago. And my thing is this, council's supposed to speak as a body, not one individual, even though you can be the president of the council. If, on any reason, that 3 more colleagues decide that you made a decision was wrong, that they didn't like, you can be hit the door. Out of president of council. I want
Time, sir. Time, sir.
You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that.
If somebody don't agree with y'all, y'all want to throw them out. You gotta be out your mind. You will be one on my recall list.
We're going there.
That's not what the mayor stepped out, mayor, council, and president of the council. My name is Ella Bolden. Address is 1264 East 146th Street, East Cleveland. I've been living here for about 47. I'm used to the mic, so that'll keep my voice from getting too loud. I've been here for 47 years. I know everybody very well, even Mr. Wheeler and his family. And I worked on the audit committee, me and Mr. Severa. Will you stand, Mr. Severa? Everything that we submitted to the East Cleveland Council was right on tag. Okay? Now, my question is here, is that, not you, you're out of this, you just came in, Councilman Green. You were saying communication with the citizens and with council. At the time, there was no communication, not even with the mayor. What I'm saying is, in order for a body to move, the head has to be solid. Now, the reason why a lot of people don't come out to these meetings, because in the past, and it's still going on, it's like a dog vomit and he's eating it up again. Nothing has changed here. And like I said, this is the people, this is not rhetoric, and this is not hearsay. You all need to go. This is what they're saying. And we're not getting nothing different. Now I'm here to say no tax money. You don't need any. Okay? No tax money, no increase. No accountability at the head. So the bottom line is, you got to work what you have. You got to show the people what you can do.
Now, Mrs. Thomas, you mentioned about the $46,000 for engineer. That was a good point, right on point there. But I'm gonna ask you to see if you can get somebody to write a grant so we can get that 46 less or not do it.
Yes.
You see, you gotta have people with education. It ain't about PhDs and masters, it's about common sense.
Yeah.
I know you all well, except Mrs. Graham, Councilman Graham. Now, there will be no money collected from our citizens, welfare recipients, low income, and retirees. No money. I fight taxes when they don't need to be. Now, we need money, we got to pull together. And like I tell them, my slogan is coming from a neck bone to a T-bone. All right? So we got to get together and work. You ask the people, I need your help. Okay, they give you your help, and you don't do nothing. It's a lot of proposals we can make. I made the one-way signs, and I made drug signs that nobody don't park at night at 3 to 6. Because why? The police department didn't have meters. You got intelligent people here in East Cleveland. Don't shuck and jive here. And like I say, you got to go, and a lot of you will be gone. Don't need a recall.
That's right.
It's on its way. So you need to get down and work with your people. And it is a disgrace
Yes, it is.
for Mickey Mouses like us to do one another bad. This is a black community, 90%.
That's right.
And we can't run a city. But we can run other people's business. Wake up. This is not a shuck and jive and dream. You know what I mean? We got to work together. We all in this together. But some of us got to be moved. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.